What's going on, folks? Kid at Double, you already know. We're back at it again, folks. So, you've learned the basics of web development. That's HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, what do you do next? Do we just apply to jobs and hope that somebody finds us, see how talented we are, and then we just sit on our hands? Or we roll up our sleeves, do a little freelancing? Alright, folks, let's hop to it. So first thing first, imposter syndrome. This is going to be very real in this case because we're getting ready to freelance, getting ready to either step up to some people via face-to-face or probably even online. And now you're getting ready to sell yourself. Pretty scary. So for once you don't know what imposter syndrome is, it is when you feel, in this case, like you're not good enough. You're feeling like somebody's going to figure out that you're a fraud and you have no idea what you're doing. Now understand, this doesn't go anywhere. You will have this on and off. You're gonna have those moments where things are starting to click. Oh, I'm meant for this. And then you're gonna have other days where I'm in over my head. It's done, it's a wrap. So understand it, acknowledge it, move through it. Next thing, are we freelancing to side hustle, or are we freelancing to job replace? Now, as of right now, it all depends. If you're out of work and in between jobs, then you should probably be looking to job replace. So you should be cranking it just with the mindset of hustling right now, but seeing what that looks like and then fully engage into making it a full employment. Now, with that being said, that becomes a host of other different opportunities in regards to finding clients and taking care of the legal side of things and getting your things in order financially. That's another time. Or you can go ahead and just, like I said, do it on the side, hustle a little bit, and you have a stable, comfortable job that you actually enjoy right now still. So there's no real reason to jump ship. So this will give you that comfort and flexibility to learn something fun off to the side or use these other skills that you have to bring in that extra income. So your work money takes care of things, your overhead, everything that's related to your life, what you got going on, all the fun in between stuff that you randomly want to do can be made off your freelance income. Next step. Now, these are not necessarily in order, but these are some things you need to be aware of. Web hosting. Web hosting is a big deal. You need to know about how web hosting works, how domains work, and you need to know how DNS work, domain name servers, and you need to know about SEO. And you've got to be able to pile all that together to, this is what websites are built off of. You want to know these skills that I mentioned, SEO and stuff, that helps the ranking of that client that you're servicing. Big deal. After that, how to find work. So I always tell people in my mentoring and when I'm consulting people, is you want to start in your neck of the woods. Start over in your area. Find you a mom and pop shop, some coffee shop. You hear it all the time, but it's true. Just find you a small place that looks like they either need an upgrade on their website or they have no idea how this stuff works. Go ahead and build that connection and build them something out. With that being said, this is where things can get less pressure or more pressure. Meaning you could either take on a job for free, takes the pressure off, and then continue to just learn your whole process and the whole workflow. Or you can just go ahead and dive in and charge them whatever the go rate is around your area or whatever rate you feel that deemed necessary to get the job done. Do understand that it is more pressure and you could deal with a lot of time constraints. You never know. After that, you want to make sure in this process, whether it's free or paid, you're gonna have to treat the whole thing like a high paying client, meaning the consultation, the engaging with them and learning their needs, assessing their needs, and then being able to articulate that by way of building an aesthetically pleasing website that fully captures the purpose of what they need, right? It is goal oriented. And then you want to be able to write up that proposal or that contract that locks you guys in, just getting used to that whole process. They say, you know, the work's getting done, XYZ, and this is what agreed to pay on, to be paid upon the services. You want to get that kind of process kind of put together now. You want to get yourself comfortable. So sometimes you have to get uncomfortable to get comfortable. So keep that in mind. While we're doing this, this is an excellent time and a critical time to develop a workflow. You should be finding tools that helps smooth out your process of building the websites, or even before building the website actually. Design tools like Adobe and Figma, Adobe XD and Figma, or just whatever works for you, Photoshop. Just learning these extra tools that helps kind of lay out the blueprint of this site, you know, and then diving in and using those developmental skills to build it out. So it is critical to learn that workflow. Also, keeping track of your progress by way of time, and more so than anything, by way of steps. Using something like a Monday.com, there's a ton of others that you can use, but using one of those to kind of do a drag and drop at where you are in the workflow of this development of the website in regards to testing and launching and all that. So keeping track of that is key. Also, keeping track of your time. You want to go ahead, especially in this case, it's probably going to be a project-based assignment. I would do it project, just letting you know. Project rated, simple. This is what it is. This is what I want for it. Here we go. That's going to save you a headache right now. But in conjunction to that, go ahead and use your time tracker. Toggle was one I used to use back in the day. It's just find you a simple time tracker. You can use your stopwatch, whatever you want to use. Just track your progress, track how long it takes you to do X, Y, Z. This is going to help you in the later steps that I mentioned. So amongst all this, be consistent, meaning you are producing the same process in relates to reaching out to clients, in relation to consulting these clients, in relation to building out the blueprint, in relation to executing this and closing out that project, and producing you a referral system, a funnel, either having word of mouth, which is my favorite, or I say word of mouth. Honestly, word of mouth is the best one, really. But there's others though. You can just solicit yourself with ads and all that stuff. But word of mouth is really where it's at. That really works. Make that lasting impression. You got something. With that being said, you've got a process now. You feel good. You've completed a project. It's gonna make you want to do more, right? Whether it's free again or paid again, regardless, you want to keep a workflow. You want to take care of all these things on that first assignment, on that first project. So when you do that, now you can learn how to niche down on things. So niche, whatever you want to call it. This is a good time to figure out where you belong. So it don't have to just necessarily be on developing a website. You can provide SEO services, just, you know, getting their certain pages ranked better on Google. Or you can go into web hosting, just provide web hosting for clients. Hey, I'm gonna house you here. You know, if anything breaks, I'll fix it for a certain fee. So then you have what they call a retainer. This keeps money coming into you, and it keeps you providing a service on an as needed basis, on a very limited basis. Something to think about. Last but not least, again, no particular order, you want to make sure you are often, every bit of time, cannot stress enough, keeping your skills sharp. Things change constantly in the world of development, regardless on what side you're on. You could be in DevOps or you could be in the wonderful world of WordPress. Regardless, skills are going to have to be sharpened. You cannot keep using the same tool, the same axe, and keep chopping down trees day after day without sharpening that axe. With that being said, I do provide mentoring services, consulting services that helps developers out here looking at freelance and learning how to create that workflow and learning how to produce more skills while they're working on these different projects. Again, if these are things that interest to you, please comment down below or hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at KevTheDev00. All right, folks, there you have it. Gave you a nice little rundown on if you want to go into freelancing. I say if you haven't found anything yet in your developer, you should already be diving into freelancing. It can be very uncomfortable. It can be very, very stressful. But the name of the game, guys, is to keep it simple. Find you a simple company or job, or a simple, I should say, simple client. Just do a simple task, which you know how simple can that be. But find you a simple project, get it completed, and do all the steps that I mentioned. Treat it seriously, high-paying client, and then that's when you'll produce your workflow, and you'll gain these skills that's needed that'll help be with you for a lifetime. All right, folks. So don't forget, like, share, and subscribe, folks. Until next time, we out.